Hi everyone, it's me Gaming Do, and welcome to part B or part 2 of the tier list for tier list number 9. Yes guys, today we are going to be doing probably one that's going to be relatively short, but it is going to be a pretty big one as it'll give you a hint on a video that's coming later in the year. Today, we are going to be doing a tier list on the films I've seen from the first half of 2023 now that we're officially in the second half of the year. So, at this point, I have seen 10 films from 2023, and I'm going to place them in random order, not in the order I saw them. This is just where I'm going to rank them and when I'm going to rank them and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying. So we have the normal S through D, but I decided to add an F just because I feel like it's more complete, even though I don't know if I've seen an F movie this year. So I don't know if I should have added that or not, but I always feel more complete when there's an F on the list. But anyways, why don't we just get started? This is probably, like I said, going to be a relatively quick tier list video, but let's get started. Alright, so first is Elemental. I'm gonna be honest, this is probably next to Luca, Pixar's best film since the 2010s. Pixar for me has not had the best track record in 2020s so far. I enjoyed Onward enough. I found Soul to be pretty good. Luca was awesome, and I think is the only 2020s Pixar film that I think is better than Elemental. But then you got their 2022 film, which I didn't really like either of them all that much at all. I liked Turning Red slightly more than I liked Lightyear, but Lightyear, what a friggin' snooze fest of a film. That is literally so far down from the rest of the Toy Story franchise, in my opinion, that it's not even comparable to any of them. It's just so boring. Elemental, I had a blast with, honestly. My favorite part of the movie is the way that Ember and Wade's relationship sort of develop. I think it's handled extremely well. I think the comedy, for the most part, is really good. I feel like Ember, Wade, her father, her mother, and Wade's family are all really enjoyable. I feel like that the one main song in the movie I actually really like. I forgot what it was called, but it is a banger. Here is why I can't give it an S, and it's among Pixar's best. I do feel like as much as I like Ember and Wade's relationship, it is maybe a little tiny bit formulaic. And I don't know, the second half of the film is not near. I feel like the first half of this movie was going to be Pixar's best of the entire 2020s. Like, I thought this was going to be better than Luca. The first half of this film is friggin' amazing. I can't believe how good it was. But the second half feels a little too slow, in my opinion. So, that leaves Elemental to the A tier. I really enjoy this film. It is the second Pixar film this decade that I'm willing to buy on Blu-ray. I really did enjoy this film. But it does have a few flaws to where it can't get an S. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, huh? Nah, I'm good. This film is pretty much everything wrong with modern Marvel Studios. Like, there is so many things I can complain about with this film. The visuals are too CGI. There's too much CGI in the visuals. The comedy is like bare minimum, and the mix between the drama and the comedy is even worse than Thor: Love and Thunder. The characters, for the most part, are super dislikable, especially Cassie Lang, who I just felt like, honestly, I was saying, you should have stayed in jail, you little brat, throughout most of it. And there is one saving grace to why I don't give this an F. If he wasn't in this film, this might have been my all-time least favorite MCU film. I'm not kidding. There's not much I like about this film. But Kang the Conqueror saves the hell out of this film. It's a damn shame about Jonathan Majors and stuff like that. I don't know what's true about him or not, but he was damn good in this film. So much of a threatening presence, and his scenes were not even in question with anything else. They were the best scenes in the movie. Everything else, though, I didn't like at all, really. Scott Lang and Ant-Man himself was probably the second best part of the movie, but even he was a little out of character, so I'm going to give this a D. I didn't like it very much. However, Marvel finally, after almost 2 years, again made another masterpiece. That being Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. What a perfect conclusion to this trilogy. This film did absolutely everything I wanted a finale for Guardians of the Galaxy to be. This film made me tear up, it made me scared, it made me laugh hysterically, it made me care about all the characters. It made me, oh my god, there's just so many good things about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Rocket is by far the best part of this film. His tragic story about him basically being a test subject in a lab, basically, and then he gets in a, oh my god, I feel sick even talking about it, but the High Evolution is a sick bastard. Let's just put it like that. He basically makes all these disformed animals with like metal parts and stuff like that, and it's really disturbing. But you do get to see for a nice while. They have a nice, fun relationship with each other, and it's cute. But High Evolutionary kills 3 out of 4 of the buddies there, and it is the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in a Marvel movie. It made me, when Rocket was scratching the High Evolutionary, I was cheering, honestly. What a sick, sick character. And then you got the perfect conclusion for all the characters, especially Star-Lord, who reunites with his grandfather. It's so amazing. Almost everything about this film is damn near perfect. I love Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I can't wait to watch it again. Megan, this is the first film from 2023 that I saw. It's the very first film that I saw that year. I watched, I believe, in February, in between my time watching. I might have even watched it at the end of January. I'm not sure. I watched it very, very early into the year. Megan's gonna get a B. Megan was a lot of fun. It was. It's actually probably, in terms of a doll horror film, if you're comparing it to like the Chucky films, I like it more than anything Chucky in the entire 21st century. I thought about that today and I'm like, I liked it more than Seed of Chucky. I liked it more than Curse and Cult of Chucky. I liked it more than the remake, and I liked it more than the Chucky TV show. Both seasons. This is my favorite if you were to compare it to Child's Play somehow, since Bride of Chucky. This was an awesome movie. That might actually be a little bit of an overstatement. It was a really fun time, but admittedly, it does have some of those quirky moments you see from horror movies like that that are kind of cringeworthy. Like, Megan's first kill in the movie, I feel, is kind of cliche, I guess you could say. And I'm honestly not a huge fan of the kills, but I found the concept to be so awesome that I had a pretty good time with this film. And that's actually a lie. I like a lot of the kills, but the first kill in the movie with the boy at the camp, I wasn't such a huge fan of. And that's really all I gotta say about Megan. It's been by far the film I have the most time separated from, so maybe I don't remember everything about it, but Megan was an awesome film. Or very good film. I enjoyed it a lot. Knock at the Cabin. I'm gonna put Knock at the Cabin at the A tier above Elemental. This is a really good film, and I think it's M. Night Shyamalan's best film since the 2000s. The film played out perfectly in terms of like the script and how it played out and stuff like that, if you get what I'm saying. Like the whole story of the apocalypse happening, and one of the characters these guys came to had to basically commit suicide to save the world, or else the apocalypse would happen. And then basically all these guys kill each other in gruesome ways. To me, Dave Bautista and Rupert Grint were the stars of this film. They were the best part, especially Dave Bautista, who you always felt threatened by. This is my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie since the 2000s, which is saying a lot, because I did like some of the Unbreakable sequels, like Glass, but this is my favorite, honestly. I really enjoyed this film. Cocaine Bear is next. Cocaine Bear is going to get a B as well. I think I liked it a little less than Megan because I felt like Megan was a little more creative, but I will give it this. This movie actually kind of takes itself a little more seriously than I was expecting. I was expecting this to be a pure Sharknado level cringe film or something like that, when it really wasn't. It was just, yes, it was goofy as hell, but it had a few scenes that made it. It had a few scenes that took itself seriously. I love the gruesome, gory kills by the Cocaine Bear in this film. It was so freaking entertaining. And the whole ending where the one guy gets killed by the Cocaine Bear, and the Cocaine Bear really isn't the main villain of the film. It's this one guy. It's kind of cool to find out. And the Cocaine Bear cubs are freaking awesome too. But it is a goofy film, so I can't give it an A or S, but I had a really good time with Cocaine Bear. Okay, this is the film I've seen the most recently. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I liked it. I'm gonna be honest, I really liked it. It's nowhere near perfect or nowhere compared to the original trilogy, but I liked it a lot. I found the action to be pretty cool, and I know people said the CGI in the beginning of the film was pretty noticeable, and it was. But the opening scene with a younger Indiana Jones at the beginning is just, it's so freaking awesome, it's not even funny. The action in this film, in general, I think is really good. I love seeing Harrison Ford back as the character and stuff like that. But it's not perfect. I think the CGI is a bit messed up, even in the awesome, like, first part of the movie. I didn't particularly like the ending of the film and how it ended this franchise, because this is probably going to be Harrison Ford's last time as Indiana Jones. It honestly makes me wish, why did they make a fourth film, too? Like, Last Crusade ended the trilogy perfectly. I think they should have just left it at that. But they decided to continue it. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm a pretty big Indiana Jones fan. Not as big as some, but I do have, I think it's like an early 2000s DVD box set with like a bonus DVD in there. And I've watched these movies generally about once a year since like probably the mid 2010s. And Raiders of the Lost Ark is in, if it's not in my top 10, it's definitely in my top 15 favorite movies of all time. Raiders of the Lost Ark is such an amazing film. I love the other two of the original trilogy too, and I'd probably consider both of the other ones in the S tier. But for this, Dial of Destiny, I think, is better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think that film was just pretty cringeworthy beginning to end, but at least this had some good stuff in it. And overall, I liked this film. Across the Spider-Verse. It's my favorite film of the year. What else can I say? There is just so much going for this film. I love the visuals, that's no surprise, but I was actually shocked. Like, you gotta see it to believe it, how good the visuals are in this film, especially once they go across the Spider-Verse. It's fucking stunning. Miles Morales is even more likable than in the original. He's more well developed and is growing up in this film. My favorite scene in the movie is when Spider-Man talks to Miles' dad, and Spider-Man basically tells Miles' dad to get off his ass and stuff like that. That's pretty funny. But there's just so much going for this film. All the cameos, which includes like holograms of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man from the previous films. You see Spider-Man 2099, which was awesome to see. Seeing the spectacular Spider-Man again was so freaking... As a Spider-Man fan, this is a wet friggin' dream. Here's the thing, though. I like this film more than the original Spider-Verse. Well, I really liked that film. This film is, without frigging question, in my top 3 Spider-Man films. If not, I wouldn't be surprised if it takes No Way Home. There, I said it. This film is just so freaking good. I liked it a fair amount more than the original, actually. This film, what a damn masterpiece. Alright, we have 2 more films left. We have The Flash. I didn't like it that much. I'll be honest, it was cool seeing all these old DC characters come back, and especially seeing Nicolas Cage's Superman. That was freaking awesome. But I don't really attach to the character of Barry Allen in this film. While I do like Michael Keaton's Batman and he is awesome, I think they could have used him a little more in the film. I think this, believe it or not, hard to say, handles the whole multiverse thing worse than Marvel does, and I didn't like the ending at all. The post-credit scene made my jaw drop when we saw George Clooney's Batman again, or at least his Bruce Wayne, but it genuinely shocked me. But for the most part, there's not a heck of a lot that I like about this film, so unfortunately I'm going to have to give The Flash a C. And finally, for this list today, we have the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm going to give it an A. This is such a fun time at the movies when I saw this. Everyone was cheering at certain scenes, seeing all the Nintendo references. As a Mario fan, this film is incredible. If you're not a huge Mario fan, I'd still say you'll enjoy the film overall, but you'll probably never want to watch it again. This is a film that I need to get on Blu-ray pretty soon. It's out now. It's just a matter of circumstance and stuff like that, and the fact that I I can watch it on Peacock pretty soon. But I do want to get the Blu-ray soon because this film is awesome. I really do enjoy this film a lot. Especially, my favorite scene in the movie is the whole freaking final battle with all the characters fighting Bowser, and they shrink Bowser down to little Bowser and capture him. That scene is awesome. The Peaches song is amazing. The relationship between Mario and Luigi, I wish we got a little more of it, because then I probably would have put this film higher. But Luigi could have been more used, and I also feel like Donkey Kong could have been a little more used. But other than that, this film is so much fun. I love most stuff about this film. I love the training sequence where Peach basically wants Mario to prove that he can go on this adventure. Um, I love the whole cart customization scene. The Rainbow Road scene is awesome. There's so many fun things about this film. It's goofy. It's not meant for everyone, but I had a blast with this film. The Super Mario Brothers movie is awesome. Now, can I say this film is better than Elemental? You know what? Yes. I think this film is goofy and stuff, but it is so much damn fun that this is gonna go here on my ranking. So, let's do this thing. This is my ranking of the 2023 films so far. Number 10, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It's nothing if it weren't for Jonathan Majors as Kang. Number 9, The Flash. The Flash had fun scenes and stuff like that and cool cameos, but wasn't much to it besides that for me. Number 8, Cocaine Bear. This film is fun, it is, but it's not that serious of a film and stuff like that, so I gotta put it at number 8. 7, Megan. Megan is the best doll horror film since Bride of Chucky, in my opinion. But it is one of those doll horror films, so I can't put it any higher than 7. 6, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I thought I was actually going to dislike this film a little more than I did after I heard all the negative reviews, but I like this film enough. I like the action. I loved the first part of the film and the flashback scene. And overall, I'm okay with this being the last Indiana Jones film. I just didn't really like the ending to it that much. So yeah. Number 5, Elemental. Elemental surprised the hell out of me. I actually really like this film. The relationship between Wade and Ember, all the beautiful animation, and all the styles and stuff like that. My problem with the film is that it goes a little slow in the second half, and I do feel like Wade and Ember's relationship is a little bit cliche, but I do really like this film, and it's my second favorite modern Pixar film from the 2020s next to Luca. Number 4, the Super Mario Brothers movie. The Super Mario Brothers movie is a blast. It is. And if I wasn't a Mario fan, this probably would actually be a B instead of an A, but since I'm a Mario fan, I admittedly have to bump this up, probably by a whole point because of it. This film is so much fun with all the amazing references, and every character is just awesome. Number 3, Knock at the Cabin. This is M. Night Shyamalan's best film since the 2000s. I like most, if not everything about this film. I love the whole apocalypse aspect. This film probably tells the best story of the entire year. This is just an awesome film. Number 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. What a perfect conclusion to the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, with tragedy and hilarity at the same time. Seeing these characters one last time. I don't know if I want them to come back, besides the new Guardians team. I think it ended these characters perfectly. And number 1, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This film is just a Spider-Man fan's wet dream. Seeing all sorts of Spider-Man, hundreds, in one movie with all sorts of beautiful animation and visuals. It's my favorite film of 2023 so far. So, I hope you guys like this list. Stay tuned next month for the next tier list. We actually do have a fair amount of content coming out on the channel soon, finally. I got a lot of stuff filmed. This is what I plan to upload. First is my 2 tier list. But I hope you guys like this. That's about it. Gaming Do here. See you later. Bye.